Dr. Eva Mor is the author of the book, Making the Golden Years Golden, Sources of Information to Guide You in Making the Right Decisions for Living Better, Healthier, Independent, and Stress-Free. She joins me now to provide a thorough and concise course to plan for our later years. Welcome, Eva. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
This is a wonderful, most practical resource book that also has such a complementary text, illustrations, stories of people's lives. It was really, really a pleasure to read. And I'm wondering if you could tell us what drew you to write this book?
When I'm asked that question, I usually answer with the fact that I'm a child of Holocaust survivors, and unfortunately both grandparents have not survived the war, so I never had grandparents. And I miss that dearly, so I usually adopted my friends' grandparents, grandmother, grandfather, whoever was there. To me, they were a source of, of love and affection, unconditional most of the time. So I was drawn to that group of people, the seniors, and it was kind of a natural path to choose to work with the elderly and for the elderly.
And so a career of such work has also led you in the direction of writing this book. For whom is it written?
Originally, I started to write it for my father, who had Parkinson, and when although I was in the elder care field, I was surprised how little information is out there for the care of the elderly and the ill. And when I needed help to care for my father, and I started to seek out the information, I realized this is a void that has to be filled. And eventually, when I could afford the time, I sat down to write the book, and I put in the book much love and care, because it was not only geared for the elderly people whom I cared so much for, but also for the children, and realizing that the baby boomers are coming in, and in the next 9 years, because it's already 1 year into the period. 77 million Americans will be 55 and over, and the society is not really ready to provide the care and the system that is needed for that particular care. And the children of the aging population have such a hard time to find the means and ways to care for their parents. That's the book.
You also spoke in the book. I was quite touched by your reflections upon the isolation of some elder Americans, and you spoke about your own experience in your apartment building. I wonder if you'd share a little of that.
Sure. As you know, 50, 75 years ago, the society lived totally differently than today. We have usually been born and died in the same area. Children sat down at night to dinner with their parents. We always were very involved in each other's life. After World War II, the whole demographic pattern has changed, and our children traveled for education 2-3 states away. We traveled for professional opportunities 2-3 states away. So our elders became isolated from us. They lived away. They cared for themselves best they could. They didn't want to be a burden on their children. So usually you found out that your parent needs your help is when you got in the middle of the night a phone call, and they said your father or mother are in the emergency room. They fell and broke a hip, broke a leg, broke a hand, whatever. And then you come in, you fly in, and you start looking for means and ways to care for them, and you don't know where to begin. So we were kind of lost in this environment. And when I was writing the book and I was thinking about it, I realized that I, that know the needs of the elderly, know that in my building, which is like 230 apartments, there were so many people that are elderly and alone. Well, I can do something. So I knocked on some doors, you know, and I knocked and somebody opened the door a little bit and said yes. And I would say, well, my name is Eva Mor and I can help you. If you need anything, I live in this apartment. Please ring the bell and I'd be happy to buy milk, to buy stamps, whatever you need. And they were, why?
Suspicious.
Why would you want to help me? So I realized that, you know, as a society, we had failed our elders. We're not really attuned to their needs. We're not looking to help one another as much as we should. And this is preaching also in the book, you know, and you can find it all in goldenearsgolden.com. I have
your website.
My website, goldenearsgolden.com. And I have on the website 60 pages of information per state. So if you are from Massachusetts, you go into your state and have all the contact information for all the agencies, associations, by phone, by address, by mail address, email address, and their site, and that will help you to make decision for yourself and help with your parents, whatever you need.
I would love for you to tell us. Let's take an example of one of the chapters in your book. You speak about the task of choosing a nursing home, for example. In
that chapter, which is really residential options that you have, one of the things that we don't know is what is out there. It used to be that it was home or nursing home, but now in between those two you have tremendous amount of options of retirement communities, residential care, assisted living, and it's very important to find the situation that is best for you or for your parent. It's very, very important. So in that chapter I have devised a plan, a cost, all that you have to look for, all that is most suitable for your parent. Because if your parent, say, wants an assisted living situation, and you go to beautiful places, and they have golf courses and tennis courts and the pools, but if your father likes to sit with a remote control in front of the TV and doesn't swim and doesn't play golf, it would be a waste of your money to pay for it, because you're paying for everything. So you have to find the right situation for you, and the book has tremendous amount of guidelines for that. You give people guidance about financial matters, about, I think for those who are aging, those who are already in a population of elder Americans, and also for those who soon will be, a planning guide, and for the children of all of the above. It's really a fabulous, fabulous resource book. It's a great service that you've performed in writing it, and very easy to recommend. Thank you very much.
I want to thank you and tell you how impressed I've been. I think that your book is a guide to anyone who really wants to organize his or her life, or to help a parent organize his or her life.
A lot of safety measures to be taken on your parents' behalf or on your own behalf, and you need somebody to maybe show you the way. And I was fortunate to be in the field for 25 years, so I can share my experiences and help the people out there.
Well, you've really done a marvelous job and a great service. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
For more detailed information, you can go to the website www.goldenearsgolden.com. We'll take a short break and return with Rhoda Wald and her book, New Pathways for Aging.